I tested every Shopify conversion hack, and here's what actually works. After analyzing hundreds of stores and spending over $15,000 on different conversion boosters, I discovered something shocking. You see, 90% of what the so-called gurus recommend is complete nonsense. I'm talking about cluttered pop-ups, unnecessary countdown timers, and overpriced apps that promise the world and deliver crickets. But here's what's crazy. The stuff that really works, it's dead simple. So simple, in fact, that most store owners overlook it completely just because it seems too basic to make a difference. But that simplicity is exactly what moves the needle. And so by the end of this video, I promise that you'll walk away with 5 actionable conversion hacks that you can implement today. Not only that, I'm also going to provide you with a framework to evaluate whether a new feature or app is worth testing and the truth about what actually drives higher sales. Okay, so the first hack, I want you to forget about exit intent pop-ups. We tested the most recommended exit intent pop-ups tools across 17 stores, and you know what we saw? A 0.4% increase in our conversions, which is basically nothing. And most of these tools cost anywhere from $49 to $97 per month. In other words, you're paying almost $1,200 a year to maybe recover 4 sales a month. Instead, I want you to try this. We ran an experiment on one product page that had decent mobile traffic. All we did was move the add to cart button 40 pixels higher on the mobile viewport, so it appeared immediately without scrolling. The result? Well, we saw a 23% increase in conversions. We repeated this across 11 different stores and saw similar lifts. 17%, 21%, and one even got up to 29%. But why does this work? It's simple. Reduce friction. Make taking action on your website easy. On mobile, scrolling even one extra swipe can lose the sale. You want to remove every ounce of resistance possible on your Shopify store. If you're already seeing the value in these first 2 hacks and you want to learn even more, plus get access to deep dive audits, live Q&As, and a private group of real Shopify store owners, check out my conversion focused community. I've dropped the link in the description. It's where I share everything I can't cover in a single video. Alright, so back to it. Hack number 3 is that trust badges don't work where you think they do. You see, trust badges are everywhere. You've seen them like PayPal, Norton Verified, and plenty of others. Usually, they're under the checkout button. But it turns out that putting them there actually hurts trust in some cases. Why? Because it makes people suspicious. It's almost like you're trying too hard to convince them that it's safe. But what worked instead? Well, we A/B tested 9 stores and found that putting customer reviews right next to the product price resulted in a 31% increase in conversions. The reason is because social proof is contextual. You see, if I'm evaluating a product, I want to see that others trust it right when I'm looking at the price, not 10 seconds later when I'm hesitating at checkout. Hack number 4 is rewriting product descriptions based on real questions. And this one surprised us the most. So what we did was we dug into our old customer support logs and return data. What we noticed was customers kept asking the same 3 questions for each product. So instead of using fluffy, keyword-loaded product copy, we rewrote the description to answer those top 3 questions clearly, concisely, and without any buzzwords or jargon. But what was the result of this? Well, we saw a 47% increase in conversions, which is nearly double the performance and didn't cost us a dime. Your key takeaway here is you don't need to rely on SEO optimized descriptions. All you need to do is write for real humans who are trying to make a decision to buy fast. Hack number 5, you want to delete and not add. And please listen closely because this is arguably the most valuable insight that I'm about to share with you. But first, if you're finding value in these tips, then it might be worth checking out the link in the description. You see, inside of my community, I teach all these things, plus I walk everyone through step by step exactly how to create a winning and converting Shopify store. Alright, now back to the final hack. We kept trying to optimize checkouts by adding urgency timers, shipping guarantees, and post-purchase upsells. Well, it was all a waste of time. But when we removed one form field on the checkout page, the company name field, we saw a 12% increase in completions. One field. That's it. That's when it clicked. You see, conversion optimization isn't about stacking tools on top of tools, but instead, it's about removing friction. You want to make it effortless for people to give you money. And here's something that you can implement right now, and it's a little bonus. First, I want you to open your store on your mobile device, and I want you to just look at your product page. And then I want you to ask yourself, can you answer these 3 questions within 3 seconds? The first is, what is the product? The second is, why is it different or better than your competitors? The third is, how much does it cost? If you can't find all that information within the first 3 seconds of being on your website, then you need to fix that first, because that moment of confusion is exactly when your customer is going to bounce. So let's sum it up. You want to remove any exit intent pop-ups. They're overpriced and overrated. You want to move your add to cart button a little bit higher on your mobile device. You want to place customer reviews next to the price, not below the fold. And then you want to rewrite descriptions to answer real customer questions. Finally, delete any unnecessary steps in checkout. Remember, less is more. And the biggest insight of all, it's not about hacking your way to success. Instead, it's just about reducing resistance. If you make buying easier, people buy more. With all that being said, I thank you all for watching this far in the video. Try out all the conversion hacks that I just gave you and let me know what kind of results you get in the comments below.